You are now listening to WSN Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
The only place you need to go for West Georgia sports.
Interviews with all your favorite UWG athletes and so much more.
Keeping you up to date with the NFL, NBA, MLB, and everything in between. If you want it, we got it.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
We're also giving you a platform to have your voice heard with our all-new live call-in segment.
So where else would you want to go? We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Monday edition of Sports Pack. I am your host, Richard Reed, joined today by Ryan Kroger.
Hello.
Keyshawn Ward.
Yo.
And my guy Jackson Schrader, as always. How y'all feeling today, man? First show back after spring break. How we feeling?
It's good to be back. I love it.
Man, I'm feeling refreshed. Had a week off, but glad to be back.
Me and you both. Schrader, you not going to say anything about
I'm
spring
feeling
break?
good. I was just waiting my turn.
Well, you waited a little too long. I was like, I'm waiting on you to say something. But no, man, it does feel good to be back, especially since I missed our last Thursday episode. I was out of town in the leadership conference, but the guys held it down. It was a great show. I'm glad y'all were able to survive without me. But now we're back for this final stretch. 6 weeks left of the semester, and we are going to finish better than ever. Pause. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfUWG.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. That is thewolfUWG.com/book drive. Now, Ryan, before we really jump into everything else that's going on, you know, we're in the middle of March. March Madness tournament's going crazy right now. We got the women's tournament on right now. We've been sitting here watching the Notre Dame-Ohio State game for the better part of the last 90 minutes. But you know we got to talk about these West Georgia Wolves first.
Long is Widener, rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
We are indeed one, and our baseball team is starting to play like it more and more. Last time I was here, we'd just gotten our second win of the season. But now, after a nice, long spring break, we've kind of gotten back on the right track. Our baseball team is currently sitting at 6-18 overall, coming off of a series against Stetson University. Yes, we lost the series overall, but walked away winning the second game 7-3 after losing the first game 4-3, and then rounded out that three-game series by losing to Stetson 10-6. Schrader, give me a reaction to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's fine. It's fun to start winning again. Like,
I was about to say, it's not good going 1-3 on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we are 6-18. But you're starting to see the bats make up for some of the errors that the pitching staff has. The pitching staff's still not perfect. They're still giving up a lot of runs. I think, but going back to that Wichita State series, we had a win. It was 13-11, right? Mm-hmm. That's great to put up 13 runs, but you're also giving up 11. So it's good to see the team start winning again. I still want this pitching staff to just lock in, get a little better, and then I think we can really pick up some momentum going into conference play.
Yeah, I agree. This baseball team, I mean, we're starting to play better. You know, I remember talking about it a couple shows ago. West Georgia has the number one strength of schedule in all of the ASUN. So going in at 6-18, that makes it a little bit better. I mean, it's not a good record, but you know, when you have the number one strength of schedule, I mean, we've played Georgia Tech, we've played Georgia State. I mean, we've played all these guys, and you know, with the number one strength and schedule, you know, that's kind of what you're expecting.
Right, it becomes very difficult.
Exactly. But you know, we got the series win over Jacksonville, first series win, opening ASUN play. So this gets us ready for ASUN play, which I really like. So I see an up boost in West Georgia coming here hopefully soon. So I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, with ASUN play coming up, also they have to work on the consistency, right? Like y'all alluded to, the bats are swinging, but the pitching is not getting there. We're getting some wins, but we're not finished. We're not closing out series. So going into ASUN play, we just need all around consistency with the team. pitching staff, batting, fielding, everything just has to be on one point to kind of get ourselves in ASUN tournament play. That way we could finish the season off strong.
Right, and this weekend series against Stetson was our second ASUN conference series. Won the first one against Jacksonville 2-1. Like I said, lost this one 2-1 with Stetson winning the other two, obviously. Now, looking forward to the rest of the week here, we have later this week have another ASUN conference series against Queens University of Charlotte out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. The guys will be on the road taking them on. First game will be Friday at 6 p.m., second game Saturday at 2, and the third game of the 3-game series will be Sunday at 12. But before that, you can catch your Wolves in action tomorrow right here in the City of Dreams, taking on Mercer University tomorrow at 6 p.m. Be there or hear about it. Show up to the game, cheer on our guys as they look to get their 7th win of the season and really get back tuned up after this past series and get ready for Queens this upcoming weekend. Now, to pivot to the other side of the diamond here, our softball team is doing pretty well. Is doing fairly well. They're currently sitting at 11-21 overall, coming off the series against Queens University of Charlotte, like we just mentioned. They lost that series 2-1 as well, just like our men's team. But looking forward to the rest of the week. They also have a game tomorrow on the road in Atlanta, Georgia, versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Ryan, I want to start off with you. Tell us a few things about this softball team.
They're scrappy, the record shows 11-21, obviously, but we've seen them win close games. We've seen them, go out there, put their best foot forward, and they've done what they needed to do. Once again, 11-21, not the most spectacular record, but they're getting better. Every game, they're getting better. This is a scrappy team going against Georgia Tech. Hopefully, they're going to try to get the upset. It's Georgia Tech, but I've seen crazier things happen. So
it's definitely possible.
I like this.
This is March after all.
It is March. It is March. I like the softball team.
Yeah, I'm at the agreement. ASUN play is starting to turn up now. This is the games that really matter now. So everything before was kind of tune-up games. So going into ASUN play, you kind of have to look at that 11-21 record and kind of say that it doesn't really matter. Because,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, exactly. You got kind of have to throw it out the window because the ASUN is really what matters now. As we mentioned before,
right.
We're only second season in D1, so we're kind of banned from the NCAA tournament. So the ASUN tournament is basically our championship. So these games are really what matter. So you got to look at that 11-21 record, throw it out the window, and get prepared for this tournament matchup.
And Schrader, before I let you jump in here, we're talking about ASUN conference play. Right. That these two teams are very similar because in their first two series, they've had identical outcomes. Our women's team played up against Jacksonville a couple weeks ago and won that series 2-1. And then in their second ASUN conference series against Queens, they lost that same series 2-1 as well. So the teams are really having similar performances when it comes to ASUN conference play.
Yeah, and kind of to piggyback off of what Keyshawn said, like this conference schedule, this is really what you look at to determine how you feel about this team. And they're 3-3 right now. I get that we're 11-21, but that 3-3 conference record is what I'm looking at, and I'm really eager to see how they can continue to perform as we go on in this conference slate, because that's our tournament, right? That's our championship. Is how can we do in the ASUN? Can we put ourselves in position to maybe send an appeal up to Indianapolis to get some postseason action? But yeah, that's really what you look for, and I'm pleased with 3-3. I think that's a good way to start, and I think winning the first series really sets a good tone for the rest of the season. So I'm excited to see how they can piggyback off of that.
Right. This entire season is about getting better and better every single day. Ryan, you alluded to it at the beginning of what you were saying. This team is just focused on improving each and every day. We're still in our infancy when it comes to being a Division I program here, but the fact that they're going out there and doing what they're doing, it's pretty impressive. Like I said, so they keep getting better each and every single day. Win those games in conference play like Schrader and Keyshawn were talking about, this can end up being a very good season. Like I said, tomorrow evening, I should say, if you're in the Atlanta area, be sure to check out the game. Our girls are going to be on the road taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Atlanta, Georgia. And then this weekend, they're going to be down in Jacksonville taking on Jacksonville University. The first two games of the doubleheader will be on Saturday. First game at 2, second game at 4:30. Then the third game of that 3-game series will take place Sunday at 1 p.m. Now, before we exit our UWG segment, I would be remiss if I did not mention that the outdoor track and field season has officially started. Our track and field team was on the road this past weekend in Atlanta at the Yellow Jacket Invitational, out there competing with a bunch of different schools and track teams out there at Georgia Tech. But coming up, the next big event will be April 3rd right here in the City of Dreams, Carrollton, Georgia, the UWG Legends Meet. Do not miss out. It is going to be incredible. We're going to have a lot of different content coming your way right here at Wolf Sports Network to cover this event. If you are in the area, be sure to be there. It will be April 3rd and April 4th. That is a Friday and a Saturday. Now, we're gonna take a quick little break here. But when we return, we're gonna dive into this March Madness tournament because it has lived up to the hype. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
When you think about college sports, what do you think of?
Campus legends like Haynes King and Diego Pavia.
What if I told you there was a show for that and more?
More?
Playbook is your one-stop listen for college football, basketball, baseball, and UWG sports.
The Bulldogs have Ryan Nemhard, a great point guard, and they are going yard. Gonzaga in 5.
Tune into the Playbook Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. only on Wolf Sports Network. It's a new semester here at West Georgia, and that means a brand new season of sports out of pocket.
I love Jameis Winston to death, but look at the guy. Like, come on, that's not the veteran quarterback that I want to be. He's a locker room guy.
They got Jonathan Taylor back there. It's like having Saquon, just a little bit worse, but it's like having Saquon.
Tune in to Season 7 of Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports this spring. From University Stadium,
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
to the Coliseum,
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
and Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
March Madness is officially underway, and it has lived up to the hype 1,000% as it does every single year. I want to start off talking about the women's tournament because the round of 32 is ongoing as we speak with 2 games currently underway. 5 seed Kentucky taking on 4 seed West Virginia. Kentucky's currently up 45-36 midway through the third, early in the third quarter. Midway through the third quarter. I was right the first time. And then UConn, obviously number 1 seed, 35-0. Incredible UConn Huskies team looking to go back-to-back is currently up 20-6 against the 9 seed Syracuse. Be sure to check out those games. We're going to keep you updated with those as we move on. South Carolina will also be in action, another 1 seed. They're 32-3 overall. They'll be taking on USC later on tonight at 8 p.m. A lot of great games, a lot of great basketball all around. Like I said, we're going to keep you updated with these games that are on live at the moment, but we do want to pivot over to the men's tournament as well. Our Sweet 16 is set for the men's tournament. You got Duke taking on St. John's, Arizona taking on Arkansas, Michigan State taking on UConn, Texas taking on Purdue, Iowa taking on Nebraska, Michigan taking on Alabama, Tennessee taking on Iowa State, and Illinois taking on Houston. I swear I thought I was going to be able to get that out faster, but you know what? We got it done. But leading up to this point, we're going to really talk about the Sweet 16 later this week because the games aren't played till Thursday, and thank God we have a Thursday show. But I want to start off talking about what has gotten us to this point. Because coming into this tournament, a lot of people were saying that Cinderella doesn't exist anymore. These small schools can't take down the big schools anymore because of NIL kind of allowing other schools to stack the deck. But obviously, Noah, that's not the case.
Yeah, of course you pivot to the Wisconsin fan first.
Come on now.
Yeah. Listen, man. Listen. It's every year. Like the past 6 years that Wisconsin has been in the tournament, past 5 or 6 years, I think, we have lost to a 6 seed or lower within the first weekend, too. The last time we made the Sweet 16 was 2017. That was Greg Gard's first year as head coach at Wisconsin. So, I mean, it's tough. I don't think Cinderellas are completely out of the equation now. I mean, NIL is a big factor that makes it less likely to happen, but I don't think that Cinderellas are going to completely be out of the game now. I think big stories are still going to be able to happen.
Right, because basketball is one of those kind of sports where cream rises to the top no matter what. It's not like football where you having a dominant offensive line is going to change the outcome of a game. This is basketball. Anything can happen any given moment. And like we saw it with this High Point team. They caught fire. And I'm not just going to say they're caught fire because that's kind of discrediting them. They are a great team. They took down Wisconsin in what was an instant classic in the round of 64 and honestly had another amazing game against Arkansas. This Arkansas Razorbacks team is really good. They just won the SEC tournament. They're looking like one of the better teams in the tournament right now. Big time matchup coming up against Arizona. But High Point gave Arkansas just about all they could handle as well, right?
Yeah, I really like this High Point team. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't even know they existed going into this, but they showed me up for sure because this team, let me tell you something, they play quick. They get the ball around. They do great picks. They fast breaks. I mean, everything about this team is amazing. We saw it. They beat Wisconsin in a thriller. Almost had a thriller against Arkansas. Just slipped away at the end, which is a total breaker for this team because this team looked like if they could get past Arkansas, they had a chance possibly to win the Elite Eight and go pretty far. But this team looked amazing. Like they were not backing down from the fight. And they didn't feel like underdogs. They knew what they had to do, and they saw that mission, and that's exactly what they did. Unfortunately, lost to Arkansas, but this High Point team really, really impressed me going into their games this week.
Yeah, and, going back to these small schools, it's March. I don't think there aren't any underdogs in March. Anything can happen. In the game of basketball, it's played off momentum and advantages. So, whoever catch fire at the right time and the right moment is going to eventually come out with the W. And I just think that's what High Point did throughout the game with Wisconsin. I mean, they aren't the only low seed team that won. You got number 11 Texas. They beat number 3 Gonzaga. So, I mean,
even Siena, they gave Duke all they could handle.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I pride myself on knowing a lot of these universities around the country. I have never in my life heard of the Siena Saints, but they gave Duke all they could handle. They were up 11 points at halftime.
Right. So, these small schools, you can't count them out. Like I said, that Duke game, that surprised me. I thought Duke was going to come over and manhandle. I'm thinking that's just going to be, a play-around game, for their first game of the season or first game of the tournament. But that was not the case. These small teams, they rise to the top. They give, good competition to these teams. So, in March, you can't count nobody out. It's Sweet 16, so we're getting closer and closer to that championship game. So we're just gonna have to see who rises to the top.
Right, and these big moments in March, like you said, you put it perfectly. This is where people rise to the top. Big-time playmakers make big-time plays in March. And one that's really been doing that is Darius Acuff Jr. Obviously, true freshman at Arkansas. He's had an incredible season, SEC Freshman of the Year, SEC Player of the Year, went absolutely berserk in the SEC tournament, which helped lead Arkansas to the SEC tournament championship. But even now, he had over 60 points in these first 2 games combined. He didn't have 60 in both. But combined, he had over 60 points in these first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. No one has ever done that in history. And we've seen incredible players, Hall of Famers, go through this tournament. Nobody else has done this. When you look at what Darius Acuff is doing right now, he dropped 36 points against High Point, shot 50% from the field. He is extremely efficient, and this isn't just a one-off. He's been doing it all season. But him doing it on this stage right now, I'm calling it now. He's playing himself into a top 5 pick in this year's NBA draft. You could argue top 3. If he is able to continue to maintain this, even if they lose to Arizona in the Sweet 16, if he puts up a game like this against that Arizona team, he'll be a top 3 lock.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to have to show up against the number 1 Arizona team. So if he could come out and drop another 30-point game again, absolutely he'd be a top 5 pick. But I mean, he's been playing well all season. He dropped 50-point games throughout the season. He's really been balling.
He's a monster,
man. He's their main guy. He's really, he's their main guy. To say the least, he's the main guy. He's who they want the ball in their hands. He can score at all 3 levels of the game, mid range, 3-point, and in the paint as well. So he's gonna have to set the tone coming at Arizona game, get his guys going, get them rallied up, and I think that's going to be a competitive game. On the other side, you got Braden Berries, you have Cole Pete. Those guys are now back healthy, so it's really going to be a scrappy matchup. I can't wait to see it.
It's really the matchup I've been looking forward to the most. Even back when I was making my brackets, this is the matchup I was looking for. 2 teams that are both on fire. Arizona, you mentioned a few of the guys on that team. They're just well-rounded. They have the kind of team where their entire starting 5 can go down, and the next 5 can beat you by 30. They are that good. But this Arkansas team, they're hot. And as long as Darius Acuff is on, they can go all the way. They are that talented of a team when he is at his best. It's going to be an electric matchup. But Ryan, I want to pivot for a second. When looking at the rest of the tournament landscape, who else has really impressed you? We've been talking a lot about Arkansas. We talked about High Point. But who else has really made you pay attention to them this tournament?
I like Texas. Texas looks like a solid basketball team, only coming in as an 11 seed. They've been pretty highly ranked coming in the last couple of years. But coming in 11 seed, when I saw that, I was like, okay, they haven't had the best season in the world, but, they're getting it done. And they've got it done in this tournament. I mean, beating BYU 79-71, that was an 11 versus 6 seed. Beating Gonzaga, the number 3 seed, made them almost look silly that whole time. And then Gonzaga
it was a great performance.
It was a great performance, beating them 74-68. So I think as far as this Texas team goes, they've really impressed me just coming in as an 11 seed because, once again, in the past, they've come in as like 5 seeds, 6 seeds, and they come in as 11 seed. It's a little demoralizing, but they have got it done.
And, like you said, they have gotten it done. They've made it to the Sweet 16, and they have a big-time matchup against the 2 seed Purdue, against one of the 2 seeds in Purdue. Purdue went 29-8 overall. Very gritty team, very experienced. A lot of guys that have played in 2, 3, 4 NCAA tournaments in their time at Purdue. This is going to be a great game, big-time test for this Longhorns team. I don't want to call them a Cinderella just because where they're seated because it is still Texas. But these are kind of the opportunities that the tournament presents. A low seed like Texas that played in one of the first 4 games of this tournament to even have a chance of getting in, coming in, knocking off a few of the big dogs, Gonzaga being one of them, and making it to the Sweet 16. This is what March Madness is about. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've met a single person that had Texas in their Sweet 16. But they're here, and they got a big-time matchup against the Boilermakers. Noah, I want to go back over to you. Who else has really impressed you so far this tournament?
Honestly, a dark horse for the Final Four right now is Tennessee. They got Iowa State coming up, and the real X factor in that game is Joshua Jefferson going to be healthy? If he's not, I honestly think Tennessee can win that game fairly comfortably because Tennessee, I think, has the talent to be a 4 seed.
They do.
Or even a 3 seed in this tournament. The fact that they got a 6 seed is still a tough path. They got Iowa State coming up, and in the Elite Eight, they could potentially face Michigan. Those are both going to be tough matchups if they happen. But honestly, Tennessee, I can definitely see them making the Final Four. That could really shake things up.
Yeah, Tennessee's one of those teams that I've been watching all year, and I'm like, man, you feel like they should have been so much better than they were. But maybe they're just one of those teams that just weren't able to put it together until just now. But if that's the kind of team you're going to be, this is the perfect time to put it all together because this is really when it matters. This moment right here, getting hot in the SEC tournament, and then also in the NCAA tournament, this is the time to put it all together. And like you said, Tennessee has all the pieces necessary to be a top 4 seed and a potential Final Four team. This is a very dangerous squad, extremely well coached. They always come in very highly seeded, but recently they haven't been able to really break through. This could be the year for Tennessee.
And they just got this win against a 3-seeded Virginia team. Big morale booster.
A very talented Virginia team. I was shocked when I saw what Tennessee was doing to that team. It really caught me off guard. Like you said, this is really what the tournament is about. This is what March Madness is. It's beautiful. When we're looking forward to the game, Tennessee also has a very tough matchup, though. This Iowa State team is dangerous.
And I love Iowa State. They're my pick to go to the Natty.
What about Iowa State makes you pick them like that? Because I'm with you as well. I've had Iowa State in the Final Four in pretty much every bracket I've made. But what makes you so confident they can make the national championship?
I have them losing to Duke in the national championship, but just the way, barring Joshua Jefferson's health, but his play has been great. Milan has been lights out from the 3-point range. That their offense is just absolutely on fire, and they've been great on the defensive end as well. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Arizona.
Yep. Multiple times throughout the season.
Yes.
It's a very talented team. Now, you also mentioned Duke. Duke has also punched their tickets to the Sweet 16 after struggling to get past Siena in the first round. They embarrassed TCU in the second, and now they're in their Sweet 16, taking on a very talented and well-coached Rick Pitino St. John's squad. Noah, me and you were talking about this matchup a little bit earlier, comparing this St. John's team to last year's, and you said you believe that this year's team could be more dangerous than last.
I do. I am somewhat buying into the St. John's hype, but honestly, I think Duke is the best team in the country, and it's not that close. It's not that
Not
close.
Arizona?
No.
Okay.
No. Let's look at the Michigan matchup. They held one of the best shooting teams in the country to under 40% shooting.
It's true.
And we want to talk about A.G. DeBonsa and Darren Peterson. Cameron Boozer is a better floor facilitator than both of those players. I said it.
I don't think. No.
I can see the argument there.
I mean, it's definitely there. He's definitely a better floor
see
facilitator than Darren Peterson, because Darren Peterson had dropped 30 and have no assists. So I completely understand.
Let
why
me
he's
say
right.
one thing. Duke has not impressed me in this tournament whatsoever. I get that they almost lost Siena. I get that. I get they crushed.
I feel like
TCU.
it's that first game still leaving a bad taste.
Okay,
in your
yeah,
mouth.
but
because that TCU game, they dismantled the Horned Frogs.
They looked slow though. That's what I'm gonna say. Duke just looks slow. That's not. They played a 9 seed TCU. What's going to happen when they go up against these 3 seeds, 4 seeds? Back, they just look slow. They don't look like they're going to be able to handle these better seeds.
So with what you're saying about this Duke team, do you think St. John's has what it takes to take them out in the Sweet 16?
I do. I don't see Duke getting past the Sweet 16.
Honestly, I kind of agree. I could see a chance where St. John's escapes with this one, because what scares me with Duke is the lack of depth that they have outside of their first 5. You know, outside of Cameron Boozer, Isaiah Evans, even Caden Boozer. He's been kind of balling these last few games, but you know, outside of them, it's not really nobody. Sarr has kind of showed glimpses and flashes of what he can do, but it's just not all the way there yet. I don't think they're as well balanced of a team like a Arizona or an Iowa State is. They have their main 1 or 2 guys, and that's just it right there. And if they're not on the court, if one of them gets in foul trouble, you know, that could really hurt them offensively. So, you know, I definitely see a chance where St. John escapes with this one. So I really wouldn't call it an upset if they do.
What you think here,
Noah? Okay. I guess St. John's, it's Rick Pitino, right? He's a legendary coach, and, you know, they are hard and rugged defensively. But, I mean, putting aside Cameron Boozer on the Duke end, Duke has a lot of talent all around. They always do. I mean, it's Duke. And if Rick Pitino has any sort of kryptonite, it is facing a Duke team. Even going back to the Coach K days when Pitino was at Kentucky. I mean, they got them a couple times. So I just feel like there's no way Duke loses this.
I don't know. I'm very intrigued by this matchup as well. I think it's going to be a very good game overall. I like St. John's in this matchup. I think the St. John's team is pretty underrated. I think their offensive upside is a lot more. They have a much higher offensive upside than they did last year. Excuse my stutter, but paired up with that nasty, hard Rick Pitino defense, I mean, this is a very good team. So I think if anybody's going to take out this Duke squad, it could be this St. John's team. Now, I did promise a score update. I want to pivot over to the UConn women's game right now. Like I said, number 1 UConn, 35-0, taking on 9 seed Syracuse. They are up 33-8 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. This UConn team is dominant as they are every single year. 5 seed Kentucky has 19 seconds left in the third quarter in their matchup against 4 seed West Virginia. Kentucky's currently up 62-50. We will see if West Virginia is able to battle back. But we're going to take a quick pivot here and move into our MLB segment. Ryan. While we were gone for spring break, Ryan, the World Baseball Classic wrapped up. It was an outstanding event. Teams from all over the world getting able to showcase their best baseball players. But I do notice you're a little down. Walk me through what happened in the finale. Team USA versus Team Venezuela.
I can't even tell you what happened. First of all, I don't want to point anybody out, but our captain, Aaron Judge, just did not look like our captain, Aaron Judge, or look like Aaron Judge whatsoever. Striking out 2 or 3 times in that game is not going to get it done. None of our hitters, besides in the 8th inning when Bryce Harper hit probably one of the most electric home runs that's going to be forgotten because they lost, there's no bats. There's no pitching. I mean, we tied it up, but what is it? Whitlock came into pitch, and he just gave up. He's been dominant the absolute whole tournament, but just didn't get it done. Our bats were slow. Looked like we were swinging a pool noodle. I mean, it just did not look good. Venezuela, caps off to y'all. Y'all beat a really good USA team.
Schrader?
Yeah, sometimes being right really stinks. I was really high on this Venezuela team for just about the entire time we've been talking about the WBC. I did not expect them to beat the U.S., but kind of like you were saying earlier, like, we were able to showcase our best baseball players, but we did not play our best baseball for a lot of that tournament, especially that back half. I will say that Dominican Republic game was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That game was a gritty. It was a tough win. The pitching stepped up when it needed to. The bats really stepped up when they needed to. But watching that final game against Venezuela was just brutal because it was one of those games that almost the whole time you kind of just knew the U.S. wasn't going to win it after Venezuela scored first. The bats couldn't get going. I mean, we had 3 hits. I get that Venezuela's bullpen has been amazing for the entire tournament, but we had one of the best rosters ever put together, and it's unacceptable to put up 3 hits against a team like Venezuela.
I just got to say one thing, and this is USA, yes, we played our best players, but I just didn't like how our star players had so many limitations on them to play in the WBC. We could have put Mason Miller in, but we should have put Mason Miller in, but we didn't because the Padres didn't want us to put him in unless we were winning and it was a closing situation. I feel like we could have kept that game tied and maybe won in the 9th if we put Mason Miller in. He was striking guys out left and right in the WBC, but it just didn't happen because of these limitations. Imagine if...
And are these just to clarify, are these limitations set by the team that they are under contract?
Set by the MLB, yes.
It makes sense. To prevent injury?
But just imagine if Tarek Skubal, who said he was only going to pitch 1 game, started that final game instead of a rookie coming out of his first year MLB.
Right.
It would have been a completely different story.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean... I struggle with this whole limitations thing because I understand it completely.
Oh, for sure.
I completely get why the Padres don't want their franchise closer, to pitch in a game that has no relevance to the Padres, right? Because this guy, I mean, he hasn't a lot of hits in September. He's gone 50 consecutive at-bats without allowing a hit, which is an absolutely unreal streak. But and if you're the Padres, obviously you don't want this guy to just blow his UCL in the WBC game, which is what happened to Edwin Diaz,
exactly.
who was at the time the best closer in the MLB, and the Mets, right? He was on the Mets at that time. They lost him for a whole season.
Yeah, I understand taking these precautionary measures. I completely get it because you still have to pivot right into an MLB season after that, and then you're the franchise that looks crazy and is being scrutinized if you allowed your player to go out there with no limitations on him, and like you said, he ends up getting hurt and missing the season. So I definitely understand your frustration, Ryan, but I also can't say I'd do anything different if I was running one of these teams.
Look at Seiya Suzuki for Chicago, right? He played for Japan, and now he's starting the year on the IR.
Exactly. I mean, it's really not a risk you're willing to take. It really just comes down to what do you value, and if I was one of those front offices, I would value my job and the success
what
of
pays
the team.
bills. What pays
exactly.
the bills.
What pays the bills. I want to say this right here. I am very proud of one of my hometown teams right now. The Atlanta Hawks, coming off of an 11-game win streak. Yes, the streak was ended a few days ago, but
that don't matter.
Got right back in the win column a couple nights ago with a big-time win against the Golden State Warriors, 126-110 after a 28-point explosion from Dyson Daniels. Didn't even have Jalen Johnson playing that game, and it did not matter. Now, looking forward to tonight, the Hawks will be in action again at home, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, looking to get another win here, continuing to stack W's. When we first started talking about this Hawks team, we're talking about how mediocre they were, always floating around 500. But they have really done what we said they had the potential to do. They made a lot of these big-time trades, got a lot of key pieces, a lot of guys willing to play their role on this team. It's been paying off. They're currently sitting at 39-32 overall. If they continue to play the way they've been playing over the past month, they could easily find themselves playing out of the play-in game.
Yeah, I'm at the agreement. And what surprised me with this team is that they don't have a big ego on their team, right? They don't have this big star player. They did, but they traded him away, right? They brought Kamiga in. Kamiga came in and gave us life immediately, right? Jalen Johnson, a.k.a. the coming of LeBron James, as
second
Richard,
coming of LeBron,
as Richard like to say.
That's what they say. That's what the people are saying. The people are talking. Jalen Johnson looking to have that kind of upside.
Yeah, he's been balling. Him, Kuminga, Dyson Daniels has stepped up. NAW Nickel Alexander Walker has also, he's also been playing his role well as well.
Mm-hmm.
So with this Hawks team, we kind of built a team around a bunch of role players and forced them to be the main guys, right?
Right.
So this Hawks team, they're playing well. We're 12-1 in our last 13. We just got to finish the season off strong right there. Less than 20 games remaining. Let's try to play ourselves outside of the playoff and get around 1 seed again, and try to hopefully we could make a run in the playoffs. I believe we can if we get the right team in the East. But it's looking good right now for the Hawks.
I like a lot of things about the Hawks, but there's one thing that I don't like is their upcoming schedule. They have to play 2 games against Boston, 2 games against Cleveland. They have to play Detroit.
Yep.
Though they do play Orlando, they do play Brooklyn, but they're gonna have to put their A game if they wanna finish this season off strong. That is the one thing I don't like about these Hawks, but they're running on all cylinders, so anything can happen.
And that kind of stretch is really what you need getting geared up for the playoffs, because these are teams you're going to be playing against.
Yep.
You're not just going to be able to continue to beat up on the Wizards, but those are good tune-up games. Allow all these guys that really all just got packaged in together to figure out how to play with one another. Because like Keyshawn said, there isn't really a massive superstar on this team. Jalen Johnson is emerging. He's looking like he's going to be one of the He has a very bright future in this league, but he's still an emerging star. Right. There are a lot of guys that are just getting in there and playing their role, and they are playing complete team basketball. And that can get you a long way, Schrader.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with the legend Big Pat about this Hawks team. We were listening to 92.9, the game, and they were talking about this team, and I think, I make fun of the Hawks for being the most mediocre franchise of all time. I mean, it's pretty funny when you look at just historically, but the moves that they made at the trade deadline, I don't think that they thought it would lead to this. I'm not sure that they were really pushing to be great this season, but whatever they did worked, and I think that was getting rid of Trae Young. The one thing about the NBA that kind of drives me nuts is how player-led it can be at times, especially when you got a guy like Trae Young on a team like the Hawks. It was his team, and now it's nobody's team. I mean, Jalen Johnson's playing out of his mind, but it can be somebody else's team on a different night. And that's
like we
what's
saw a couple
helping
nights ago. Dyson Daniels just came out and dropped 28 points.
Right. When you get a lot of young guys on a team and you just say go play ball and you don't have to worry about giving the ball to Trae, make sure he gets his. Everybody's just doing enough. Right. And it's great and it's working great. And I look at this tough stretch, and if I'm the Hawks, I'm going, this is what I want. Because now that they can prove it. Right, I feel like all these other teams that are playing the Hawks are the ones that should be a little nervous because they got a team that's 12-1, and I don't think anybody else can really say that. Right, and so you got a team this hot, getting this close to the playoffs. It's exactly what you want to see.
They've got nothing to lose.
You give me hype, Schrader.
They got nothing to lose.
I'm really starting to feel I've not been able to get excited about Hawks basketball in so long, but you are saying all the right things. I'm excited for this. There's another big time matchup
Dude,
tonight.
They're gonna break your heart in round 1. It's gonna be the funniest thing.
Please stop, bro. But you know what? It's okay though, because we're seeing what this team was able to do, and it's looking like we're gonna have a top 5 pick as well. And if you can go ahead and add a guy like Darius Acuff Jr. from Arkansas to this roster, right. I'm seeing faces, folks starting to make noise. That right there could be enough to get the Hawks over the hump. But we'll talk more about that as we get closer and closer to the NBA draft. Before we close out this segment, I do want to mention 2 of the best teams in the NBA are also in action, are also going to facing off tonight. The LA Lakers, 46-25 overall, red hot as well, going on the road to Detroit to take on the 51-19 Pistons. Big time matchup tonight at 7. Do not miss it. Now, we're going to get out of here for a quick second, but don't hit that dial, because when we get back, we're going to talk about a few of these new big-time contracts in the NFL. Stay tuned. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
What's up? This is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7, where the odds are in our favor. crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune in to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Join Sports Out of Pocket as they take their show on the road. Their hit social media series returns this spring with even more West Georgia athletes.
We are here with West Georgia Wolves O-lineman, Mr. Jack Hunt. Jack, how's your day going, man?
My day's going fantastic, man. I'm blessed every single day.
And ending off with some karaoke.
You're hurting me, I made your girl want a difference.
Look out for new episodes every Friday on Instagram and YouTube on Wolf Sports Network.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
College students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project because of drinking. Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio are proudly here to remind you to drink responsibly. Students 21 and over are the only ones that should be drinking, and doing so in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are also proud to help boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. That is thewolfuwg.com/book drive. In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty. And the Seattle Seahawks are working towards doing just that. They just put pen to paper on an historic contract extension with their star wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba. 4 years, $168 million, making him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. Keyshawn, give me your knee-jerk reaction to that.
Well deserved, absolutely well deserved. Coming off the best season of his career, led in receiving yards, was 4th in receptions, capped it off with a Super Bowl win. It was definitely well deserved, and if they want to keep what happened last season going, it was a must to re-sign him. They made him the highest paid receiver in the league. I definitely think that was well deserved. He's a top 5 receiver in the league. He's been balling. He got off to a slow start in his career, but, with the right quarterback, Sam Darnold came in and delivered. He basically handed him his new contract. So, he's still under his rookie contract, has 1 year remaining under his rookie contract. But, after that season, I doubt that they'll pick up his 5th-year option and immediately incorporate that contract after next season. So, well-deserved. Happy for Seattle. And, hopefully they could run it back next season.
That was my next question, Ryan. Do you think with this extension for JSN, this kind of paves the way for Seattle to make another run at it?
Well, I got to say one thing. We all know where JSN's from, right?
No clue.
Ohio State University.
I know it's coming.
They are receiver you. They are receiver you. They are.
And that's why I just didn't say anything. I just had to let him have it. Mind you, every time you speak in a segment, you find a way to mention Ohio.
Oh, yes.
Every single time.
Of course. Got the Cleveland hat on. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yes, I do think they can do that. Jack Smith and Jigba, almost 1,800 yards last year, 15 yards per catch. It's insane. Insane nonetheless. Every time he was on the field, he made that his game.
He was incredible.
His route running is insane. Mm-hmm. He's quick as a cheetah, and he does what he needs to do, and he does it very, very well. And I think with this contract extension, I think he's going to do more than he did last season. I think he's going to stride.
Yeah, I think this is a great deal for both parties. One, Seattle has one of, if not the best receivers in the NFL, and especially what he does to that offense, because when he's on the field, he does 2 things. One, he takes all the attention it puts it towards himself, which opens up a lot of opportunities for the other guys on the field. But also, even if he's double covered, you're just going to yuck it up down there. He's going to catch it.
Right.
I mean, there were so many games. It was the NFC Championship when they played LA, right?
Yep.
You watched that game, it was the JSN show. I mean, he did everything. There were a couple drives where I'm pretty sure he was the only person other than the center and Sam Darnold that touched the ball. And I think he adds so much to that offense. But also, you look at his side. This is a great deal because it doesn't keep him in Seattle for 10 years.
Exactly.
A lot of these record-breaking deals, you see guys like Patrick Mahomes. He's basically a Chief for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got a guy like JSN where if he's unhappy, he's only locked in for 4 years. Yes, it's a huge contract. It's probably going to be tough to trade because of that contract. But it's not forever. It's only 4 years. I think this is a great deal for both parties.
And, that was my first thought when I saw the news on this deal, the fact that it was short term.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was really good for him. Like you said, a lot of people get all this money, but they're signed for like a 6, 7, 8 year deal. I mean, it's just, I hate I just did that. But point still stands. But I do want to pivot to the Kansas City Chiefs here because you just mentioned Patrick Mahomes. They just made a very interesting move as well earlier today, extending Travis Kelce on a 3-year, $57 million deal. Now, Travis Kelce is a guy we thought that might have been hanging up the cleats after this season. He's been on a steady decline, one of the greatest tight ends we've ever seen in the sport. I'm not taking anything away from him, but his age has started to show over the last few years. So seeing Kansas City make this move, Schrader, is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, I think the 3-year deal part is interesting, but I think Travis Kelce had one of the better years he's had in a long time this year. I mean, it wasn't like insane, but I don't necessarily think he's regressing. I think it's just his age. And I think with Patrick Mahomes as quarterback, right, he has that chemistry. Even if he regresses a little bit, he's still one of the better tight ends in the league. I'm just surprised it wasn't just a 1-year or 2-year extension.
Right.
This 3 years kind of like, whoa, that third year, he's really going to be he's going to have to be on his A game. But he is huge to that team. He means a lot to that locker room. If he doesn't retire a Chief, it's a travesty. Like, he needs to retire a Chief. He needs to be a Chief for life. So I think that this deal was more so to keep him there and to be a mentor for the next guy that's going to come in.
Yeah, definitely. To me, it was more of a morale signing. I don't think that he makes it out of the 3-year contract. I don't think he plays that long. But, signing this contract for $57.7 million after just signing a 1-year, $12 million deal a couple of weeks ago, it kind of surprised me a little bit to see that they signed him even more. But, it's still Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends ever. So to keep him around, keep him in, familiarity with Pat Mahomes and that locker room, that's really great. And, I could still see the Chiefs in the later rounds, a third or fourth rounder, kind of drafting his backup in a sense and, having him as a tight end too. But I like it for both parties, right? It makes sense for both parties. And, it's a good contract. It's 3 years, nothing long term. Like I said, I don't think he plays until he's 39, but you have him at least till this season and possibly next season as well. So it's definitely a good morale boost for the team.
Just real quick, I do have to say something. His stats, I mean, he had a good year.
Right, yeah, like that, and that just kind of proves how good Travis Kelce is. He had 800 yards, 76 catches, and 5 touchdowns this year. We're saying he regressed.
Like the last 5 games, he only probably had net 100 yards.
Right.
So once Mahomes got hurt, it dropped. But Mahomes will be back eventually, and they have a connection it's historic. I mean, it's a really good connection. So I think they're fine.
And with Kelce, as he gets older going into this contract, you do got to worry about injury, especially when obviously he's getting older. He's had injury issues in the past. He has to be on the field for this. I mean, it's a solid amount of money, $57 million for 3 years.
That's over $10 million.
He has to stay on the field. He has to stay healthy. He's had injury problems in the past, and, it could be a factor going into these next 3 years.
Right. I mean, especially with his age, he's 36 years old. At the end of that contract, assuming he plays it out, he'll be 39. But I do understand where Keyshawn and Schrader are coming from here. Like you said, this really just speaks to Travis Kelce's greatness. We're talking about regression, but he still had over 800 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, like I said, 76 receptions. He's one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game of football. And like you said, he's instrumental to this team, especially in a phase now where Patrick Mahomes is about to be coming off an ACL injury. They're going to need leadership more than anything else. And Travis Kelce is the guy they want in that locker room. So originally when I saw it, it didn't really make much sense to me. Right. After thinking about it more and more, it makes a whole lot of sense. I completely understand why they're extending him. And they also made another good move a few weeks ago. going out and signing Justin Fields. I think that is the perfect guy to bring in, kind of add another element to this team with his legs, but just helping keep the ship afloat until Mahomes gets back in the second half of the season. I think Justin Fields on this very talented Chiefs roster will play some very good football, similar to how we saw Malik Willis do with this Packers team, and we're going to see this Chiefs team be ready for another playoff push right around week 10, week 12 when Pat Mahomes is back healthy. Now, we're running out of time here, but I cannot end this show without mentioning the UConn Huskies. Like I said, their game is on live right now. They're currently at halftime. UConn is up 65-12 at half. 65-12. That's unheard of. That is unheard of. Syracuse scored 4 points in the second quarter.
Happens to the best of us. I mean, they're getting whooped right now.
This UConn team is for real. They're 35-0 for a reason. Overwhelming favorites to win the entire thing. Ozzie Fudd has 26 points in the first half. Oh, yeah. Ozzie Fudd's a GOAT, bro. She's a legend. UConn legend. She has 26 points in the first half, and like Keyshawn said, a very efficient 26. One more score update before we go. There's 2 minutes left in the Kentucky and West Virginia game. Kentucky is still has a lead, but not by much. They're up 70-66 against West Virginia. Tune in on ESPN to see if West Virginia is able to pull it out. But that's all the time we got for Sports Pack tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys for joining me on the show. It was a lot of fun. We'll be right back here on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, follow us on social media at Wolf Sports Network to stay up to date with all things West Georgia sports. Till then, we'll catch you next time. Have a blessed day.
let's hit.
Is everybody ready to play?
Yay.
Okay, so who wants to beat this boss for me?
Riley.
It's time to give the people what they came for.
Fight.
Dude, when you hit that high with that secret level on Let's Babysit Chrissy on Barbie.com, chef's kiss.
Look, the story can be amazing, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like the game, okay?
And then I told them I come in two forms. I'm either playing video games comfy cozy in my bed, or I'm getting banned on PC lobbies and having 12-year-olds swear at me.
KO. The Gaming Wolf wins.
How's it going, everybody? I am Riley. Welcome back to the Gaming Wolf, and I am joined by my incredible co-host here, Britton.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
And we got a great show for you all here today. We're talking all things consoles. You know, we typically talk about the games here on the Gaming Wolf, but we're going to bring it to the land of consoles. And we got a fun show for you guys today. We're going to talk about what we like in consoles, what we think they can do better, worse, and then maybe we get into the realm of tabletop games, talk about boards versus cards, stuff like that. Should be a pretty fun show for you all here today. Britton, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited because I get to talk about the stuff we can actually physically touch.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my favorite part a little bit.
It's like really underrated almost.
It really is because like sure you have the games and you can play it on your TV, but then the like actual physical things that the games are in, you can touch them, you see them, you're like, I really enjoy playing on that. Especially when they're in fun colors and you can like decorate them.
Oh, console colors have like fallen off so hard. But the 90s, the early aughts.
The 90s, the early aughts, those clear cases, we should bring those back.
We need to bring them back, like officially. I know there's like companies who make shells and whatnot,
Yeah.
but we need official like clear colors for consoles.
Yeah, because I don't know how to do that. You want me to buy a kit online and try to do that myself? I would mess it up somehow.
Some way, somehow. I'm not the handiest person either, so I'm mortified to do any kind of console shell or mod or something like that.
Yes.
But if the company did it for me,
If I could buy it that way, I would spend money on that.
we would spend so much money.
If I had money.
If I had any, of course.
Of course.
And folks, please don't go anywhere because we're going to ruminate on console colors a little more right after this song break.
Dog child now.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. That's thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. Folks, welcome back to the Gaming Wolf. We're so excited to have you all with us today, and once again, we're talking consoles. And one of my favorite things about consoles is just the controller.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. So, Britton, I'm going to toss this to you real quick. What kind of controller do you like the most? Is there one you prefer, like, substantially?
The one controller that stands out is probably the GameCube controller.
Okay.
It's got a fun shape with the joystick in the middle.
It's such a funny looking controller.
It really is. And the like colors that it comes in are so bright and fun. We're missing that now. Now it's all solid colors, basic colors. But the GameCube just had it.
That Nintendo 64 GameCube era was, like, in my mind, the heyday for cool colors on controllers, colors on the buttons and stuff, because nowadays when you look at a controller, it's typically black buttons. You're lucky to get some colored text on it, but those Nintendo 64 and GameCube buttons were full on red, green, gray, yellow, stuff like that.
Fun colors, and it was multiple colors in one controller.
Oh, it was so nice.
What more can you ask for?
There's not a lot more you can ask for. Plus, just the sounds of those buttons too.
Yes.
They are satisfying controllers.
Yeah, when I button smash, it is its own song in itself.
I actually love that so much. And, like, not to knock modern controllers, because I think there are so many cool things about the current controllers of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's because, especially with the price increase in newer controllers, it feels like there's less soul to it. I know it's weird to describe, you know, the input machine as having soul or not, but
I don't know. Like, the old controllers were heavy. They were good to hold. Like, you felt like you were holding something worth the money. And controllers now today, love them. Love that they're wireless now.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong. We'll come back to that.
Yep.
But they're just so flimsy. I think I would break them if I went into a rage.
I don't think newer controllers are even that flimsy, honestly. I just think they're dull. It's just kind of a drab.
They're basic.
They're basic. I mean, the technology in them is anything but. I love the tech inside a lot of these controllers. The new DualSense controller for the PlayStation 5 has this cool touchpad on it that games can use. It has cool responsive triggers that get more resistance to them if you're drawing a bow or something. I think that's some really cool immersive technology in these controllers that obviously older ones don't have. I mean, the Nintendo 64 didn't even have Rumble in it.
That's
and
true.
So I think there is some trade-off in what you get with controllers now versus then, because games are a lot more complex now and require more complex input. And so I think we abandoned the style for just usability. And I do respect that usability a lot, personally.
Yeah, it lacks soul. It lacks fun. And that's what video game is.
And that's what makes the Switch controller so fun.
That's true. They have fun colors.
They have fun colors. They have like an IR sensor built into it for basically no reason. Like 3 games use it.
Oh. It's left over from the Wii, isn't it? And the Wii U?
Probably, honestly. I don't know why they thought the Nintendo Switch needed an infrared camera in it, but they put it in there.
They need it. Does the Switch 2 have it in there?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, it's only the Switch. The Switch 2 controllers maintain so much from the first Switch, except the infrared camera.
But they have the mouse movement instead, which is kind of weird.
I kind of like it, honestly.
Yeah.
There are some games that just work better with a mouse in my mind.
Is that not just using a computer mouse on a PC? What is the benefits between doing it on a Switch 2 versus a PC?
Well, if you don't have well, really the only benefit is that if you don't have a PC, where like if your Nintendo Switch is your only console, I think having mouse controls is convenient for things like simulation games. Because think of The Sims, where you're managing your Sims. That interface is so mouse-oriented that having the option to control it with a mouse on the Switch instead of having to buy a whole PC is very nice in my opinion.
But if it's not optional to not have the mouse feature, so does that not drive up the price and make it more inaccessible to people?
That is a good counter argument. Like, genuinely, that is very true. If the mouse stuff wasn't in those controllers, they would be cheaper to produce, and that could bring the price down. It is a trade-off that needs to be studied, and Nintendo notoriously does have these random technologies into their controllers a lot of the time, and it hit with the Wii, obviously, but in a modern gaming landscape, stuff like that is a little riskier. I agree.
That's true. Yes.
It's just strange sometimes, because again, I love the Switch and the Switch 2, but why is there an infrared camera in there? Did it really need to be there? Could you put more storage in it instead or something? That's always the question you ask with some features, is like, you know, I got this, but what are we getting instead?
Yeah, like the Wii U controller.
The Wii U. Notoriously a failed console at this point, I would say, the Wii U.
I thought it was fun.
It is fun. I think the console is fun. I think the games on it are fun, but I think the controller's terrible. Not in like a comfort way, but there is so much on the Wii U controller that I never ever use.
As someone with very limited experience, what is not to like about it?
I'll start with what I like about the Wii U controller.
Okay.
It's extremely comfortable. It is so big, it just kind of melts in your hands. The grip is really nice. And so I really give the Wii U controller a lot of respect for that. However, it is the definition of packed with useless things in it. It's got a camera on it, like a phone camera, essentially, for you. It also has an infrared blaster on it, so it can be used to control your TV. But why not just use a TV remote?
That's a good point.
It has, it has a big screen on it, and games did use it. So I'm not going to call that completely useless, but that screen did mean the controller literally has a battery life of like 3 hours.
That's the most amount you should be playing video games in a row.
Yeah, they were actually this was part of Nintendo's plan to like limit video game usage and make sure kids go outside.
It's a conspiracy.
It was a conspiracy, a very risky one considering they make less money that way, but I respect the commitment to the cause.
They were trying something. It didn't work.
Listen, you have to fail in order to proceed. You know what I mean? You know?
I don't think that's true, but okay.
Notoriously, Nintendo does kind of feel that way. Not like literally feel that way, but something that happens with them is typically they will release a console that does extremely well financially, and then the next one does very poorly.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's like Nintendo 64 is like 100 million units. GameCube was like 20 million. We were back to 100 million. Wii U like 15 million. The Switch was like 150. Like it really is up down, just complete extremes.
They're just trying something.
They love going for it, and I can appreciate that a lot, especially when their competition is like their direct competition is like PlayStation and Xbox, where PlayStation puts a new number on it all the time, which is fine. I mean, I like PlayStation. Boring. Yeah, lame-o.
Lame. Basic.
I mean, if we're talking about naming your consoles, Xbox, dude, what are you on? You go from the Xbox, okay, to the Xbox 360.
Good.
Okay, and then you're to the Xbox One. Your third console's called the One?
Shouldn't it be like 720?
That's Tony Hawk. Yeah, we just start doing rotation amounts because they did 360. And I get the 360 branding. I get it's supposed to be like all encompassing. That's the brand. I get that. But Xbox One, come on. The third Xbox is Xbox One.
Have they moved on from Xbox One yet?
They have, but it gets weirder because in the middle of the Xbox One's life cycle, they did the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. And then they said the next console is going to be the Xbox Series X and the Series S.
I'm confused.
And I am too. I truly am confused. And my mom works at a school, and she sees kids talking about games all the time, and she's been confusing the names all the time, and I can't blame her. Like, from a marketing angle, I don't understand it.
No, there's no continuity between those besides one.
Also, phonetically, X and S sound so similar.
So similar.
You couldn't have done, like, you know, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series B or something,
Yeah.
just so they sound a little different.
Yeah, and if they went with the number line, they would have a good opportunity at number 10 with X, Roman numerals,
Ooh, that's good.
right?
Or they can call the next one the Xbox V,
Ooh.
and that's Roman numeral 5.
Yes.
So then they can get on the numbering train.
Then they can get, hello, Xbox, I'm calling you up.
I'm calling. You know what? You're making it big right now.
I have a pitch I would like to pitch.
And speaking of pitches, I'm gonna pitch you all on our next segment where we talk about the sounds of gaming.
Nah. Not this one either. I'm really not trying to traumatize anybody. This is a little goofy. Alright, now this is more my style. But there's no wrong way to enjoy the soundtrack of gaming.
Yade, thank you so much for that intro. They could not be here tonight, but thank you for the intro, Yade. And we were talking before the show about like the startup sounds of older consoles and like the music that in the menus of stuff. And so I want to kick off the conversation by talking about the Wii.
Yes.
All
Yes.
of the original music for the Wii, complete bangers.
Bangers. I still sing them in my head sometimes.
Oh, as you should.
Do, 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 do. Boop, bum, bum, bum. My favorite memory of the Wii music is sitting in a planetarium and they were playing Wii music before it started.
Really?
Yes.
That's so cool, dude. And then, what was it? The Wii Shop channel.
Ooh, yes.
It has that dun 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 at the beginning of it. It's just got so much energy. Like, I'm ready to spend money. Let me do it. Like,
I'm ready to download those free shop channels.
I'm here to download the Weather Channel.
Yes.
You're really hyping me up for the Weather Channel download, and I appreciate that.
I mean, I had Netflix on the Wii way back when.
Oh my goodness, that is a flashback, dude.
Yeah, it stopped working.
Does it work or does it not?
No, it doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore. That
Anyway.
makes sense.
Back to music.
But the music of the Wii is just so iconic for us, I think, generally, just because we grew up on it. But I think it's just because it's so good.
It's so good.
Even Wii Sports, which like came with the console, has just such memorable music about it too. That dun 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 from the title theme.
Sure.
Okay, I'm alone on the Wii Sports hype. That's fine. I get it.
I don't know if your singing was accurate, but I
it
don't
could be
remember.
It could be really inaccurate, honestly.
It could be.
There's definitely the possibility that it's wildly inaccurate too.
Sorry to call you out like that.
No, but it is true. The other one that comes to my mind is like that PlayStation startup theme from the first one. It's ominous, for lack of a better word.
Riley played it for me right before the show, and it was dramatic. It was fun.
It's dramatic. It's got that little twinkling aspect to it of like the da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it's just a really low note going the whole time. And that is such a strange way to open the console up. It's like, guys, I was just going to play Crash Bandicoot. Like, I don't need all this.
Crash Nitro Kart.
Oh my goodness. Crash Team Racing.
Ooh.
That game is awesome. That also has really good music in it, too.
Yeah. Another console with good startup sound? GameCube.
I'm not gonna sing it because I would butcher that. But it's so good, and it kind of, I think it has the inverse thing of the PlayStation one, where it matches the vibe of so many games.
Yes.
Because the PlayStation one is kind of ominous and epic, but it's like, I'm playing Crash Team Racing. The GameCube one is nice and vibrant, and most of the games there are vibrant. It's just like, I'm ready.
Just like its controllers.
Just like and we brought it back around, folks. The the GameCube is just so well-rounded in terms of like what it can do as a console.
So fun.
It's so fun. playful is the word of the day for me, I guess, all
Yes.
about the GameCube.
For the
because
GameCube.
It feels so whimsical and childlike in that way.
With the tiny discs.
The tiny disc. I feel like a giant putting them in now. It's like, uni disc, go in.
Play game time.
And I know there's a lot of criticism about the GameCube because it's like it looks like a lunchbox. But that's funny to me, so it gets a pass. If you're funny enough, it gets a pass.
Yeah, it fits the vibe.
It fits the vibe. Same with like, I mean, this is straying a little bit, but the PlayStation's design is actually like really iconic to me. It's like a, what's the word? Rectangular prism. But it's got like a circle motif in the middle for the disc tray to come up in, and it's got that nice chunky retro vibe to me. Whereas the PS2 and onward, they're just straight rectangular prisms, and so they are nice, but they do look kind of generic. Whereas the PlayStation 1, I look at that, and it's like, oh, it's got that cool circle thing in the middle of it. It looks nice.
Interesting.
Do you have a console you like the look of?
No.
They all look terrible.
They're all just boxes.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think Xbox did something with the like cool wavy front.
Oh, like they gave the 360 an hourglass figure.
Yeah. But they're all basic.
They're all basic. They're all little boxes.
They're all rectangles.
Black rectangles too, so the dust shows up on them a lot when they're in your entertainment center.
Boring.
Boring.
But what I like is the sounds that they make, the controllers make.
Oh, the controller sounds are nice.
Yeah.
Controllers have speakers in them now. Can you believe it?
That's crazy. And microphones.
And microphones. Yeah, the PlayStation 5 controller literally has a microphone built into it, and it's annoying because when I plug it into my computer to play games with it, my computer will default output to the PlayStation microphone speaker instead of my actual headphones.
Which is probably pretty crappy.
Oh, it's hilariously bad.
Oh,
it's
no.
Awesome. Just as awesome as this song break that we're throwing it to you for.